People they go there, they meet somebody, they find somebody, they hook up with somebody like Pastor was talking about a few weeks ago. They use them up for a weekend, and then on Monday they boot them out the door. Because they have nothing to base their life on, to base their sex life on. They have nothing to describe about it except consumption. That they have a need, they wanted to have that need filled, they have a hunger, and so that's what they've done. And the trouble is that those are the pictures that we have. Those are the ideas about sex that we have, whether we mean to or not, because those are the ones that are inundated with us. You know, we see consumption all around us. We see it as a part of who we are. We see it all, in everything that we do. It's in every magazine, every TV, every single thing we do. We see this idea, so it becomes so inundated into who we are that it becomes a part of us without us even knowing it. And too many of us want to settle for mediocre sex. But the trouble is, if you want to settle for mediocre sex, eventually you're going to settle for no sex. Because your partner is going to get tired of being used, right? They're going to get tired of being consumed. Eventually you're going to take so much from them. There's nothing left that they have to give to you, and they don't want anything to do with you. So if you don't have a good sex life, if you have a mediocre sex life, or if you're struggling to find this, understand that you've got to have trust first. And after that, you have to have intimacy. What is intimacy? Well, the Ephesians 5 passage goes on to say, so husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself, for no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as the Lord cherishes the church. Glory be to God. So often, we give the most attention to what is me, what is on our mind, what is this and that. Well, intimacy is founded in the idea that your partner is so close to you, they are a part of who you are. Your partner is so much of who you are that you want to deal with them first and foremost. I know there's a lot of you who are connected to or know people who work outside, whether you're a carpenter, whether or not you pave roads, whether or not, like our children's ministry, you put down a seal coat and stripe parking lots. When it's raining, you don't work, right? You just can't. It's wet, you can't do your job. When it's raining, you don't work. I know there's a lot of people who have to be on their feet all day for their job. If you had a broke leg, you don't work. There's nothing you can do to turn that around. You got a broke leg till your leg heals, till the rain goes away, till the water dries up. It just doesn't happen. Well, it's the same way in our sex life if we're expecting to have great sex with our partner. When there is something that needs nourishing, it has to be nourished. When there is something that needs cherishing, it has to be cherished, or it just don't work, period. It's based on that level of intimacy that in order for us to grow in each other's lives and our relationship, we have to be willing to take the time just to nourish one another, right? To meet the needs, to solve the immediate problems, to be that intimate, that close, the person you call on. You want them to come to you. You want to have that relationship. You have to, if you want your sex life to be founded on something other than consumption, but a strong friendship, and be able to encourage that. Well, number 3, great sex is considerate. Now, this is one of my favorite ones, because considerate isn't something that we do a whole lot of. Right? Who's ever been drive-through hopping? Come on now. Who's ever been drive-through hopping? You got 4 people in the car. What you want to eat? I don't know. What you want to eat? I don't know. You want Chick-fil-A? No, man, I don't want that. Want Arby's? No, man, that's terrible. That's bad. I'm finna pull this car over. We're going to decide what we're going to eat. Okay. Let's go to McDonald's. Okay. We can go to McDonald's. Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? Yeah, I would like number 1, medium, unsweetened tea. What you want? Taco Bell. That'll be all. Taco Bell. You know, I mean, who's been down that road, right? It happens a lot when you have children, from what I understand. That's what people keep telling me. You got kids, you got to satisfy everybody. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Everybody has to take care of their own needs first, right? Does not work. when you are trying to be intimate with that person. Does not work if what you want is a great sex life. A great sex life is considerate. A great sex life never, ever, ever says me first. A great sex life never, ever, ever is concerned with only what you need. Like Pastor said last week, if we can get the hang, gentlemen, of starting this thing in the morning, that might turn some things around. But then if we build on top of that throughout the day and make it right and be concerned with what our spouse wants. And ladies, if you're concerned with what your husband needs, if you turn that around and you say, I want to take care of you, I want to make sure you're taken care of, I want to make sure that everything is right for you, then it begins to become something that is more enjoyable, that is more intimate, that means something more. You begin to trust. It opens up doors. It makes things right, and it creates the kind of relationship that we all desire to have. And I'm sorry, if you're sitting in this room and you tell me that you desire to not have a good sex life, you just lie. You got some things you need to pray about. There ain't nothing about this series that can help you. Because I have never met a soul that says that their whole lifelong goal was to have bad sex frequently. Or better yet, terrible sex infrequently. So if what you want to do is to move down this road, you have to work, or the things you have to worry about are accomplishing these things that God set out for us. Build your relationship on trust. Cultivate your intimacy. Be considerate. Be willing to go the extra mile. Be willing to do whatever it is that your spouse needs in his or her life to build them up, to get them to the point that they need to be so they are enjoying their sex life. The next 2 points kind of expound upon that. 4, I want you to write in that blank, satisfied. Excuse me. And by the way, the scripture that we just went through was Ephesians again, submitting to one another in the fear of God. We are considerate because that's how God created us.